Ladies and gentlemen, today we're talking about the amount of income you can expect as a federal retiree, a federal employee retiring. What income sources does an average federal employee have, and how much does that normally add up to over time? That's what we're going to dive into. And if you're new to the channel, so good to have you. My name is Dallin Hosma, a financial planner who serves federal employees just like you, and I absolutely love it. So let's dive in. So long story short, this video is going to be an overview of the main income sources federal employees have after they retire. Now, the exact amount will certainly depend on your career, what you made, what you saved, a bunch of things, but at least you'll have a pretty good idea of what to expect, okay? So you will have your basic pension, okay? This is the foundation. This is the foundation of your retirement income. If you're a FERS federal employee, you're going to have a pension in retirement if you work until you're eligible, okay? And to be eligible, you got to hit at least your minimum retirement age, which is between age 56 and 57, depending on your birthday. And you got to have at least 30 years of service, or age 60 with at least 20 years of service, or age 62 with at least 5 years of service, okay? If you hit one of these, you are eligible to retire as a traditional FERS. Now, if you are special provisions, you know who you are. If you are, you can retire sooner. At age 50, you only need 20 years or 25 years at any age, okay? If you are special provisions, you hit one of those. So once you hit one of these criteria, depending on your situation, you can retire and you're eligible for a pension, okay? Again, you're eligible for this basic pension, this basic benefit, like I mentioned, okay? Basic pension. Now, this pension is calculated based on your high-3 salary, basically the salary you got paid, the average salary you got paid during the 3 years of your career, you got paid the most, okay? So let's say the last 3 years of your career were your highest paid, and you made on average 100 grand during those years. Your high-3 would be $100,000, okay? And they take that, they multiply it by how many years of service you have. So let's say you have 30 years of service, and if you retire at, let's say, 57, your multiplier would be 1%. Your pension would be $30,000, okay? Now, I'm not going to go and explain how this all works, this calculation. I'm just going to show you what it is, okay? If you want to know how it works, I've got whole videos specifically about how to calculate your pension, what goes into it, how to improve it, those sort of things. This, again, will just be a summary, okay? Long story short, if you made about 100 grand-ish, if that was your salary-ish about when you retired, and you had 30 years of service, you retired before 62, your pension would be about 30 grand a year, about 30% of your high-3 salary, okay? If you're special provisions, right? If firefighter, air traffic controller, your pension is actually more generous. I'm going to, I've got whole videos on how to calculate the pension for you guys, so check those out. But long story short, this is for traditional folks. Most of you, this is what's going to apply. So this is going to be the foundational income you're going to have for your retirement. Now, this is not the only income you'll have in retirement, but this is the first part, okay? Your pension, okay? Next, the next piece is you are going to have, let me clean up some space here. The next piece of income that you're going to have in retirement is either the FERS supplement or Social Security, okay? The FERS supplement, okay, supplement, it's going to be bad handwriting, but we're gonna get over it, okay, or Social Security. Long story short, if you retire before 62, okay, before 62, then you are probably eligible for the FERS supplement, which is basically an additional payment on top of your pension, okay? If you retire after 62, you are eligible to start Social Security whenever you'd like. But just know the FERS supplement stops at 62. So if you retire before 62, you're probably going to be eligible for this if you're eligible for a full-blown retirement and pension, okay? If you retire after 62, you are not eligible for this, but you're eligible to start Social Security right away. So you're going to get one or the other. If you get this, you'll get this for a time, and once you turn 62, you'll be able to switch over to this if you want at that time, okay? Long story short, the amount of what these things are going to be depends on your situation. It depends how much you made over your career, how much you paid into the Social Security system, how many years of service you have, all of those things. So the best place I'd go to get estimates for these are probably Social Security Administration, SSA.gov. You can get a Social Security statement. For your first supplement, I would reach out to your HR. They can run estimates for you. I've got whole videos on how to calculate this if you want. It's a little more intense than I'm going to cover in this video, but check those out. But I can kind of give you estimates. If you made about $100,000 your last few years of retirement, my guesstimate is at 62, you would maybe have $2,000 a month of Social Security benefits. Okay. Again, this is just a rough guesstimate based on averages. If your first supplement would probably be about $1,500 if you had 30 years of service. Okay. So if you retired at 57, you would get this $1,500 a month on top of your pension. Until 62, in which case this would go away, and you can choose to start Social Security at 62 at about that amount, or you could choose to delay Social Security. There's pros and cons to delaying. I've got whole videos on that. But long story short, this is going to be the second leg of your retirement income. It's either the FERS supplement or Social Security, depending on when you retire. Okay, so that is the second leg. Now let's talk about the third leg of your retirement income. The third leg of your retirement income is going to be your investments, most likely TSP, okay, Thrift Savings Plan. And this, how much this will provide for you is almost always determined by how much you save, right, and how you invest. Long story short, the more you have in here, the more money it can provide for you in retirement. Let's do an example. Let's say you have $500,000 in your TSP or in your investments in general, okay? A great way to estimate how much this can provide for you in retirement is by using the 4% rule. Now, I've got whole videos on this. I've got whole videos on all these little small details. But long story short, let me give you the summary. If you multiply what you have, the amount of money you have in savings at retirement by 4%, okay, so $500,000 multiplied by 4% equals $20,000. What that means is a lump sum, an investment, a nest egg of $500,000 can produce about $20,000 a year for the rest of your life, and it can increase with inflation with no problems. Okay, this is a very safe way to estimate how much your money can provide for you for your entire retirement without any issues. Again, it'd be $20,000 a year. Okay, so let's kind of do a recap. Again, you'd have a pension based on all these examples of $30,000 a year. Okay, if you want a monthly amount, you divide that by 12. Okay, you'd have your first supplement or Social Security, maybe $2,000 a month or $1,500 a month, and then of course you have your TSP based on how much you have, multiply it by 4% to get an estimate for what it can provide for you in retirement. Okay, but again, these are all, it's just examples. It depends on how long you've worked for the government, what your salary is, how much you've saved, but hopefully this just gives you a sense for what things are going to be for you in retirement. And again, if you want to dive deeper into any one of these topics, whether TSP, how to maximize that, whether your pension or Social Security or first supplement, I've got videos on all of these things on what the things you can actually do to improve them, to make them better, and so that you can retire comfortable and confident. So I hope that's helpful. If you want more help, there's tons of helpful resources in the description of the video, so check that out. But good luck with everything. Have a great rest of your day.